Hello everyone, my name is Heather and welcome back to my channel. I know that 2020 was kind of a dumpster fire for most of the year and a lot of bad things happened that we're not gonna get into. I know it was hard for people on varying levels, but I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna look back on my year. I'm gonna look back on my 2020 and just kind of go over it with you, because even though there were many hard moments, I also had some really great moments and really great achievements, and I did things I'm really proud of and made changes in my life that I think are gonna really set me up for a future that I'm proud of. I have some photos to go along with some of the things I'm saying, so I'm gonna kind of move off to the side over here and make room for those photos. Starting out with January 2020. I was in rehearsals for a play called Going to a Place Where You Already Are, and also doing rehearsals for God of Carnage, which was a show that Tyler directed and I assistant directed. Here are just some photos from rehearsals for my play for Going to a Place Where You Already Are. I love this last picture here where I'm sitting on Miguel's lap and just laughing because I just did a really bad actor moment and my director was like, that was like really bad. And I'm like, I know. And I just started laughing. Also, throughout January, I was getting really into Cycle. I had started in November 2019 and January was, I don't know, it really amped up for me. It's actually, I think, when I signed up for their unlimited plan because I just loved it so much. January 10th, I had to step in for one of the actresses in God of Carnage on opening night. It was really scary. It's almost like, okay, if you're an actor or a performer of any kind, you have had that nightmare where you have to perform and you've never rehearsed. It was that nightmare, but real. But you know what? It actually went okay. There was a reviewer there and I got a good review. Turns out I started watching Schitt's Creek that month. Great show, by the way. I really want a sweater that says, "Ew, David." Like, I need it in my life and I'm really thinking about buying one. And I'm not someone who buys things like that, but my older brother's name is David, and so I just feel like I need that shirt. Ew, David. I got a raise at work, which I talked about in my New Year's intentions video. Then my friend, also named Heather, visited me and came and saw my show, which was really exciting. What else happened? I had to change my tire.
My love, this is why I said, let me call roadside assistance.
I'm on the last one.
Okay. She's standing, she weighs $110 and she's standing on the thing to move the lug nut.
But it's working.
Okay. My little love, I weigh like 200 pounds more than you. Please let me do this.
But I'm on the last one.
Okay. All right.
It's just, this last one's hard.
Now I need to be a help to her. Hey, you did it. Congrats, baby.
Then in February, I started an acting class, which was taught by my director of Going to a Place Where You Already Are. So that's how I found out about it. And it was also the last weekend of the show, closing weekend, and my dad came and saw it, which was just so touching. I'm really actually rebuilding my relationship with my dad. He wasn't in my life for a really long time, and now he is, and it feels really good. And this is the second show that he's come to see over the past couple of years, so it just meant a lot for him to come see it. And here's a photo of the cast as we were walking to places on closing night. Now we're into March, but this photo was taken on March 7th. I got to see Harley at the dog beach, at Coronado Dog Beach. My ex brought her over and I don't know, I just got some Harley time, which was nice. But then COVID became a thing. Like, really a thing. Of course it was a thing before this, but it really became a thing. Cycle bar closed, a lot of things closed, and I actually have been diagnosed by my psychologist with adjustment disorder with depressed mood. So whenever really big changes happen, I tend to spiral. It's not a good time. It's not a good time. So you know what? I'm gonna show you a picture of that time. This was taken on March 24th. So, but Tyler was there and I love him. But you know what else I did? I put together my Central Perk Lego set. So that was a little quarantine activity I did. A couple of accomplishments between March and now we're moving into April. I had actually set up an appointment with the DMV back in December of 2019 to get my real ID. And I got to keep that appointment during the pandemic, and I got to get my real ID during the pandemic. And they were like, how did you get this appointment? I'm like, I booked it 3.5 months ago. They're like, that's smart. So that's cool. I got my real ID and I also got my passport. So when things open back up, I can travel out of the country for the first time in my life. In April, I started running a lot regularly because Cycle Bar was closed. I also helped Tyler do the KonMari method for pretty much all the categories. I think we stopped around sentimental items. If you're curious about that process, there are quite a lot of videos from that series. Then Harley came and did a sleepover over the weekend towards the end of April, and that was just really nice to have her in my apartment, but shh, we're not allowed to have pets here. I have no photos from May. That just is how May was, I guess. I did a lot of this online performing program, which was put on also by the director of Going to a Place Where We Already Are and my acting teacher. So she did this thing called Theater is the Cure, where she basically put together one playwright, one director, and one actor. So the playwright would write a monologue and then the actor would memorize it and be directed by a director, and it's from all over the world. So at one point I actually got to be directed by a director who lives in China. So it was pretty cool. And then they were streamed live on Facebook. So it was just kind of a fun way to continue to do theater even though theaters were closed and are still closed. I thought about including some clips, but I don't know, maybe I'll link them down below. I started watching Community. I also had a ton of issues with my car. That's a whole other story. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because Heather from end of 2018, probably the first half of 2019, would have been really thrown by anything like that and not known how to handle it. But Heather of 2020, she freaking handled it, you know? She was an adult about it. She did her thing and it was annoying, but she did it and she got it done, and it was a long process, but it's done now. And I look back and I'm like, I did that, and that's great. Oh yeah, protests, a lot of protests, like right outside my door. I supported from afar and I supported financially because that shit is not good reports. Okay, June. In June, I got really fed up with my job and started thinking about getting a different job. And then I thought, you know what if I went back to graduate school? Theater's not happening right now, so maybe I'll go back to graduate school. Cycle Bar reopened, which was super exciting, and I baked Margaret a Frozen themed birthday cake. It's beautiful and it was delicious. Also in June, I applied to my graduate school. Wonder what happened. Stay tuned. Okay, in July, I made the mistake of getting my nails done. They looked really pretty. They were fun for a while. I got so fed up with them. And then of course, nail salons closed like a week after I got my nails done. So I had to dig them off my own fingers and it was a whole big thing. Anyway, yeah, I'm just not someone who gets their nails done like that. I don't get fake nails, and I know that now. Don't let me make that mistake again, you guys. I just can't handle it. And then Cycle Bar closed again, so that was fun. But because I'd gone through it, I was able to handle it much better. And what else did I do? Ooh, I baked my own birthday cake. I turned 29 and I baked the best cake I've ever had on my birthday in my entire life. Here's Tyler and I at my birthday dinner. We went to Costera. Some bad things happened. My uncle had a stroke. My grandparents had to move into an assisted living center. So there were some kind of family struggles that happened around that time as well. And it's really hard because we're all far away. So it's harder to emotionally support each other. And also, my family is not one that's ever been very good at supporting each other emotionally. So it's almost like, how is it even going to be received if I try to be emotionally supportive? But I'll do my best. So that was a thing that happened. He's fine, everyone's fine, but still. All right, oh, also, I got into my graduate school in July, so spoilers. August, what happened in August? Tyler and I did a trip to Borrego Springs. Here are just a couple of the photos from that trip. I kind of did a lot of photos on my Instagram of that trip. It was, of course, a very socially distanced and safe weekend getaway, but the significance of it is that it was actually Tyler's and my first weekend getaway ever. I vlogged it, but I haven't made it a video yet. I don't know if I ever will. Maybe I will. It was so hot, you guys. It was very, very hot in July and August and September and into October, and I was very miserable in my apartment a lot of the time. It was definitely hotter than the previous year. Oh, what else happened in August? School started. Oh yeah, and so if you watch my New Year's intentions video, you will know that one of my intentions from 2020 was to hike every month, and then I didn't until August, and then I hiked every month, sometimes several times a month. So my first hike was with Tyler and with our friend Andrea, and we hiked Elfin or Lake Hodges or whatever it's called, but this is a picture from that hike. Now we're moving into September and Cycle Bar reopened, so that's fun. But you know what? I kept hiking. This is a photo from when we hiked Cowles and Piles peaks, which are 2 of the 5 peaks of Mission Trails. So we did that with Andrea and her boyfriend. I watched Cobra Kai, and I started watching The West Wing, which is one of Tyler's favorite shows. We also hiked Quay Pay, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but that's also one of the 5 peaks of Mission Trails. I started a trial of HelloFresh, so I just thought I'd throw in some of those pictures. That was kind of cool and interesting because I've always been curious about meal delivery services like that, but then I realized, nah, it's not for me. It's a lot of dairy. I definitely got some upset stomachs. I have one stomach. Several occasions of feeling not so great after those foods. October, hiked Potato Chip Rock. This is a classic San Diego hike, and it was a lot of fun. We started before the sun came up, so a lot of the hike was really dark. It was like spooky. I hiked a mountain by myself, and you know what else? I started that one in the dark too. That was terrifying. I don't know if I will ever do that again. Wait, what else did we do? You know what we did? We hiked El Cajon Mountain, which was a bitch. It was so hard. It was so hard, and it was hot, and it was so hard, but I want to do it again. Tyler and I did get to go on kind of a nice little date night. So this is a classical music concert, but it was a drive-in classical music concert, and it was amazing. It was so much fun. We got to enjoy just an hour or so. I think it was a little bit more than an hour of live classical music put on by mainly Mozart. Tyler and I did 23andMe, and we shared some of the process on Instagram stories, but then there's this one clip that I decided not to actually post on Instagram story because it's a little dirty, but I don't care anymore. I'm posting it here. It's too funny. So here it is.
I can figure out one way to get my DNA in there.
Oh, I voted. I'm glad I did that. That was a good time. Tyler and I and his kids, Margaret and Henry, we went up to Julian, which is a very autumnal place in, I guess, technically San Diego County. And we went to this place, oh gosh, I can't remember what the actual place is called. I feel bad, but they had this little reptile petting time. What's that called? Anyway, so I'm having there's a snake around my neck, and that was great. I had a really good time with the snake around my neck. Tyler did not want to touch the snake. He had wanted nothing to do with the snake, but I had a very good time with the snake, and then here's me at a pumpkin patch. I love the fall. And then here is Tyler with the kids, just having a great time. Then we hiked the last 2 peaks. I mean, we had done this before. Tyler and I had done all these peaks before, so it wasn't the first time, but we hiked them again. These are North and South Fortuna, and we got caught in the rain. So we did this boomerang. Good. But there's us again, all 4 of us. I carved a pumpkin for the first time in a while, and it was very fun. I had a very great evening. Now we are into November. Hey, guess what? I hiked Mount Baldy. That was a big mountain, and it was very fun. I had a great time. Honestly, like, El Cajon Mountain was a son of a bitch. This was like the son of a bitch's best friend. So about a week later, the election results came back, and this was my reaction. You guys, I had to come out in the pouring rain. I had to come out and celebrate. I'm so happy. Also in November was Thanksgiving. I had a really rough Thanksgiving. It was nearing the end of my semester. I was really stressed out. I had several papers to write, and I spent the whole day. I hiked with my friend Travis that morning, but for most of the day I was writing a 10-page paper and freaking miserable, and then just kind of feeling a little bit lonely throughout the day. And then when Tyler came over, I just expressed that, and we had a long talk about it, but it just sitting in that discomfort was, I think, the main lesson of not every day is going to be a good day. Not every holiday is going to be a good day, and that's okay. It's okay for things to suck. And then finally we are into December. And most of that, if you guys watch my Vlogmas, you know everything that happened in December, because I vlogged every day from December 1st through the 24th. But just a brief recap, Tyler turned 40, which is huge and amazing, and I baked him this cake, and it was delicious. I had never baked a carrot cake before, and now I will probably bake one every year. I got a new laptop from my bosses, which was like a combination of a Christmas present and my bonuses from that month. So that's exciting, because I really needed a new laptop for work and school and just life. I signed up for an audition to be an instructor at Cycle Bar. So that audition is actually this Sunday, so the day after tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. I thought about doing intuitive eating. I thought about it for like, what, 2 weeks? And then I decided I was gonna do it. That's how things work. I thought about applying to graduate school for like 3 days, and then I applied, and then I got in, and now I'm in it. So that's how I make decisions. And I also visited home. I got to visit Folsom, and I really didn't take like any photos from that trip, except for this one. I rode in my stepdad's DeLorean, so that was cool. And the year ended with this amazing double rainbow all the way across the sky. Like, double rainbow all the way across the sky. It was my Monday going back to work after having just gotten back home from my trip, and I'm driving to work, and I'm approaching this really clear rainbow up ahead, but I only see the tail end of it. And as I approach, it seriously comes into view, and then I drove under it. Like, there was an archway of a rainbow that I drove under, and it was incredible. And just, I don't know, I think it's a good omen. So a lot changed in 2020 for me. Started graduate school. I got promoted at my job. Technically, when I was trying to quit, it turned into a promotion, which is all working out great, actually. So Tyler and I are doing better than ever. I am so in love. I feel that while my depression has gotten so much more under control, and I feel more hopeful, and I actually can think about the future, he's in my future, and that's exciting. So hiking, biking, running, oh my, yeah. So I think 2020 was the year that I started to really enjoy moving my body. And yes, it was very connected and still is. I'm trying to disconnect it. Connected to the size of my body. I am trying to disconnect that, but I did learn what movement my body enjoyed, like legitimately enjoyed. So I'm trying to focus more on that and less on any effect it has on the size of my body. We got a new president. Well, not yet, but you know what I mean. We elected a new president, a better president. Oh, I coughed too late. Oops. And then my relationship with my mom is kind of improving and evolving, and then my relationship with my dad is evolving, and those are just some exciting things that happened and changed in 2020. Some challenges. I have realized that my eating disorder is not something I want in my life, and I need to let go of it as a coping mechanism, and that's going to be hard, but I'm now ready to face that challenge. Yeah, COVID, I mean, duh. Work-school balance, I think I was able to achieve work-school balance. So now that I'm starting school back up again next week, I have to recalibrate because I've gotten kind of used to, oh, I can think more about work and other things, but now it's like school is back. Dealing with the fact that theater was basically non-existent for most of the year was a challenge. I lost my health insurance, which I knew was coming because I was on my ex-husband's for the 6-month grace period. So I had to navigate getting my own health insurance, and I had Tyler to help support me with that, and he helped me navigate that, but it was still hard. And like I said, my car issues were a challenge, but I was able to handle that as my own woman. I feel proud of myself for that. I'm looking forward in 2021 to finding food freedom. I'm looking forward to having a new president in 2021, getting control of this pandemic, continuing graduate school. I'm turning 30 in 2021. I am scared and excited about that. The opportunity to be a cycle instructor, that could be really cool, but I'm not counting my chickens. Next Thanksgiving is going to be way better than this Thanksgiving, and in general, I'm just really looking forward to another year with the love of my life. So anyway, my battery's flashing. That's why I'm talking really fast. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you too look back on 2020 in as positive a way as you can without invalidating the struggles that you went through, because I'm sure you did. We all did. And it's okay to see both. It is okay. But yeah, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.